Hello, baby. Daddy misses you. Let's go wreck some shit. Howdy folks, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am your host, the Mighty Bjorn, and today for you I have a mighty game review of Doom 2016. Talk a little bit about the game here itself, and then I'll tell you what I liked and disliked about the game, and if I feel it's worth it or not. To start with, the developer was id Software, which was actually the developer for all the Doom games. The publisher is Bethesda. The engine is id 6. The platforms it was released on was Windows PC, which is what you're seeing a review here of, PS4, Xbox One, Nintendo Switch, and Stadia. Now that being said though, from what I understand, the Snap Map mode is not available for Nintendo Switch. Also, in my review here, I'm actually really only covering the campaign, as I have not bothered messing with the Snap Map mode, nor have I tried to play online. I literally bought the game specifically only to play the campaign. There is also an arcade mode, which is actually quite fun. I've messed with that a bit, so that was actually fun. Now, a couple things I want to talk about here is, first off, Bethesda putting their hand in the Doom pot made me very apprehensive. You know, because they gave us great glitchy games like Fallout New Vegas, Skyrim, Oblivion, the last debacle known as Fallout 76, because it just works. But actually, I've been fairly impressed by this game. Let me do a bit of a recap here. Now, I'm not going to include Doom 3 in my recap analysis here, because straight out, nothing indicates that Doom 3 is actually really part of the Doom timeline in this game. However, Doom 1 and Doom 2 is. So what it seems like is, if you remember correctly, folks who are actually old enough, remember in Doom 2, Doom Guy decided to go into hell and kill all the demons because they killed his rabbit. Yes, folks, look it up. They killed his rabbit, so Doom Guy marched into hell to slaughter all the demons. Now, what's interesting here is you're actually playing the part of Doom Guy. However, you're no longer Doom Guy. You're now
the Doom Slayer.
I don't know. It seems to do that every fucking time you say it. So I'm not going to say it anymore. Let's dive on in here onto how I feel about the game itself. The graphics I feel are actually pretty damn good. I also like the look of the creatures. It was nice to see them bring back a lot of the old favorites, as well as some new designs, as well as redesign some of the old monsters, such as the Pinky is no longer soft and fleshy with bull horns. It's now kind of got like a hardened carapace. I really don't know how to put it, but it's got like a hardened crab-like shell on the front of it. However, its ass is completely bare, so weak spot, hint, hint. For anyone who hasn't played Doom yet and is planning to, I like the environment. It's got interesting level design. The levels, of course, has a bunch of different secrets. There's a lot to explore. What you have here is you actually have... It's not open world per se. It's stage-based, but the stages are non-linear, and they're huge. And you got layers on top of layers on top of layers, and it makes the stages even bigger, and it makes it more interesting to traverse. And it really doesn't start opening up until you get the jet boots, which are jump boots. And that thing makes things a lot different, especially in the realm of mobility during fighting. The combat itself is extremely fast-paced. You have to be fast on your toes. This game is closer to the fast pace of, say, Doom 2 and Brutal Doom over Doom 1, and is definitely about 100 miles per hour faster than Doom 3, which is why I didn't like Doom 3. The pacing was just so slow for Doom 3. I understand what they were going for. They were going for more of a horror game, but I didn't like it. I want my games, Doom games, to be arcadey, full of action, fast-paced, with a lot of gunplay. And that's what I got here. Guns. Guns, guns, guns. They got a lot of good guns in the game. The pistol makes a return, although the pistol is more like an energy pistol with infinite ammo. That's really, really weak and is really inaccurate. You got your shotgun. You got your minigun. You got your super shotgun, my favorite. You got the rocket launcher. You got the plasma gun. Now, one thing, the BFG also makes a comeback, as well as the Gauss rifle, which I believe is actually new to the Doom series, but it's actually more or less this game's high damage BFG without area effect. I don't know how to put it, but the Gauss rifle is badass. The only thing that felt let down gun-wise is the plasma gun really doesn't feel all that great. I mean, it's not horrible, it just feels like it lacks compared to other Doom games. Got the heavy assault rifle, which to me feels more like a squad automatic weapon, like a M249 Saw. And the cool thing is a lot of the weapons have primary and secondary fire modes, which the secondary fire modes are typically attachments, such as with the heavy assault rifle, you can either opt to have a rocket dart launcher, or you can opt to have an ACOG scope on it, which allows you to pretty much zoom in like a scoped rifle. The shotgun essentially has an explosive shot, which is sort of kind of like a grenade launcher, but not quite a grenade launcher. Or you can have a triple tap, which is, you know, like I said, it's pretty cool. The plasma rifle has its own upgrades. So far, all the weapons have had different upgrades. I haven't tried them all out yet. Once again, the Gauss rifle being awesome with siege mode. It's like a charged up shot that really just devastates. And I can't wait to get that thing maxed out, to be honest, because then I can do siege mode while moving. The music. Yeah, the music is metal. Enough said about that. The glory kills are pretty cool. I didn't like the glory kills in Duke Nukem Forever. That being said, the glory kills are great here. They're short, they're sweet, they're abbreviated. They don't give you full health or anything like that. They only give you a little portion of health. Sometimes you get a little bit of ammo out of it. That's pretty much it right there. You know, it's the glory kills are awesome. It's the way they did it. Just works. Oh my God, it just works. Todd Howard again. He probably just got himself another corner because I said that. The other thing I like about it is there is a little bit of tactics behind it, or at least a little bit of forethought. I've seen some reviewers say about that, oh, it's just a mindless FPS game. It's not really as mindless as you think. You got to think about where you're going to, what's possibly around that corner. You got to worry about your resource management. Your resource management being the biggest one, because you're not carrying a fuck ton of ammo like you did in, say, the original Doom games. I mean, in Doom 2, well, Doom 1 and Doom 2, you can have up to 100 rounds for your shotgun. So far, I'm only up to 40. Or, sorry, 60. I'm up to 60 now. So, you know, I'm not really packing a whole lot of shotgun ammo, and the enemies are not dying at 1 or 2 shots. It's taking a few shots to kill them off. Now, the chainsaw helps with the resource management, but the chainsaw itself is a resource that is very limited. It's got a certain amount of fuel, and based on what enemy you're trying to cut up with the chainsaw is how much fuel it uses to cut them up. Bigger the enemies, more fuel it uses up. Still worth it because they tend to drop a ton of health and ammunition, which helps with the resource management very drastically. The game, what I disliked about the game, I have to admit, it was tough at the start. I mean, this guy's supposed to be like the ultimate badass who marched into hell, killed every demon in the universe. Well, not quite all the demons, but killed a hell of a lot of demons to the point where they actually entrapped him and essentially locked him in a sarcophagus when Samuel Hayden actually recovered him, and that's where the game starts. And, you know, honestly, you didn't really feel all that tough. And you fight a lot of easy enemies at the beginning, but when it starts ramping up, it really starts ramping up, and you're definitely overpowered quickly. Now, that being said, this is just a minor thing, and all my complaints about this game are minor little complaints, because in all honesty, as I have progressed through the game, started getting upgrades, started getting the better weapons, started unlocking different things, just straight out, I'm starting to feel like, you know, Mr. Badass himself, ripping through enemies, ripping and tearing. You know, and this is even in situations where I'm way outnumbered, hopelessly, hilariously outnumbered. The platforming. God, I just hate platforming in general. I mean, when I want to play a platform game, I play a platform game. I don't want to play a shooter game and do platforming. That being said, the platforming's not that bad. It's just more or less a nuisance that was just a thorn in my side. At times, I felt like the hitboxes were off or odd. I'm not sure. Maybe it's actually the weapon accuracy is off. I'm not quite sure. But sometimes, like when I'd pull out the shotgun, I'd go to blast someone, and it sights on them, and it just seemed like I totally missed. There was no registration that I even hit them whatsoever, which is it feels off to me. The chainsaw pickup. I praised the chainsaw pickup earlier as part of the resource management, but honestly, the whole chainsaw pickup thing just seems completely, like, ridiculous to me. I have no idea why. It's just a personal thing. It just feels ridiculous that just because I use the chainsaw, the enemy drops a ton of health and a ton of ammo, enough ammo to supply Rambo for World War III. But it just feels weird just because it's only the chainsaw that does it. It'd be one thing if I was getting ammo pickups all the different times I was doing glory kills, which sometimes when I do glory kills I get ammo, but it's not a guaranteed thing. Let alone I'm not getting a ton of ammo. I'm getting a little bit at a time. That being said, I had a hell of a lot of fun playing this game. I'm still playing through the game and still having a lot of fun with it. It's $20 on Steam, and even if you're in my shoes, that the only intention is to buy it and play through the campaign, I would honestly say it's worth it. I just had a lot of fun. It's a very arcadey shooter, but it's a good, really good shooter. Just to fire it up, play it for maybe an hour or two, and call it quits for the day. So it's a really good stress blower, just like the old Doom games were. I mean, let's be honest here. This is very reminiscent of the old Doom 1 and Doom 2, even though it's highly modernized compared to those old boomer shooters. But anyway, folks, that is my review of Doom 2016. Hopefully you all enjoyed the video. Thank you very much for watching, and have yourself a wonderful day.